The French Revolution profoundly altered the course of modern history. Well, what has it done? The first thing is it overthrew absolute monarchy. Now, what is absolute monarchy? Well, it is a form of monarchy in which one ruler, that is the king, has supreme authority, and where that authority is not restricted by any written law or customs. Second one, it established a republic. That is, power is now held by the people and their elected representatives instead of the king. Third one is it established liberal democracies. It is a democracy based on the recognition of individuals' rights and freedom. The fourth one is it brought many of its principles to Western Europe and beyond. Fifth one is the people in this region experienced violent periods of political disturbance. That is for a span of around 10 years, because the French Revolution lasted from 1789 until 1799. Now, what exactly inspired the French Revolution? Well, it was the people with liberal and radical ideas. It means that these people were open to new behavior and opinions, and they were willing to give up traditional values and go to an extreme extent to bring changes in the society. Now, the story of French Revolution begins with King Louis XVI. Well, he married an Austrian prince, Marie Antoinette, at an age of 15. So Louis XVI was just 15 years old and the princess was 14 years old when they happened to get married. In 1774, that is at an age of just 19 years, King Louis XVI ascended the throne of France. That is, he became the King of France. He had an enormous responsibility as the government was deeply in debt with an empty treasure. Now, what was the reason for this empty treasure? It was because King Louis XV, who was the grandfather of King Louis XVI, participated in this 7 Years' War, which was a global conflict fought between 1756 and 1763. Now, it involved every European power, which were known as the great power of the time, and it spanned across 5 continents affecting Europe, America, West Africa, India, and the Philippines. This conflict split Europe into 2 coalitions, that is 2 groups. One was led by the Kingdom of Great Britain, which included Prussia, Portugal, Hanover, and some small German states. On the other side, it was the Kingdom of France, which also included the Austrian-led Holy Roman Empire, the Russian Empire, the Bourbon Spain, and Sweden. Meanwhile, in India, the Mughal Empire, with the support of the French, tried to crush a British attempt to conquer Bengal. But the outcome of the war was Britain rose as a predominant power. It destroyed France's supremacy in Europe. Now, these long years of war had drained the financial resources of France. Added to this war was the cost of maintaining an extravagant court at the immense palace of Versailles. Over and above, King Louis XVI was also interested in international politics. So he helped the 13 American colonies to gain their independence from the common enemy Britain. The American War of Independence went on from 1775 till 1783. It was again a global war that began as a conflict between the Great Britain and her 13 colonies, which finally declared independence as the United States of America. So France helped the 13 American colonies in the formation of United States of America. Already the French government was in debt of more than 2 billion livres. Now American War of Independence added 1 more billion livre. Now the lenders who had given credit now began to charge 10% interest on loans. So the French government was obliged to spend an increasing percentage of its budget on interest payments alone. To meet its regular expenses, such as the cost of maintaining an army, the court, running government offices or universities, the state was forced to increase taxes. Yet even this measure would not have sufficed. Now let us understand why.